I'll bet you guys don't throw many of these up north. Hi, I'm Schultz from Gainesville, Florida, here with you on Michiana Outdoors. This is an X-Wrap prop. It's a propeller bait. It's a tandem prop bait. And it's like bread and butter in the South. And when I go north, I spend a lot of time up north in a lot of different states, a lot of different bodies of water. And I just don't see northern anglers throwing prop baits like they do in the South. And I think it's a huge mistake. When I go up there, I catch a lot of fish behind people simply because I'm throwing something different. Again, this is an X-Wrap prop, and what's unique about this bait, it's got a real slender profile like most of the bait fish that you're familiar with that bass feed on. The props are unique to this bait. They're designed for this bait. They're counter-rotating, which means that one's going one way and the other's going the other direction, and it runs really true and straight on each pull. It doesn't have a tendency to torque off to one side. It's got loose hardware. In other words, the cups and the props are real loose on the shaft, so they have almost a clicking or a chattering sound when they get pulled through the water. That's really important. That's something we learned years ago, decades ago, that works and is really important in the South. And I had, rapidly incorporate that in the design of this bait when we did the R&D, and it's really, to me, it's a really, separating point about this lure compared to some of the competition. Again, it's the X-Wrap prop. I'm going to show you real quick how I fish this bait. It's all about patience with topwaters. Now I get the bait out there. Once it hits the water, I let the ripples dissipate. And once they're well away from the lure, then I'll give it 2 pulls just like that, and I'll let it sit. And I'll let it sit a long time. And if I don't see a quick reaction from the fish, then I'll pick it up and throw it to another place. A lot of times, especially in the South, Florida strain largemouth want to look at that thing a long time before they bite it, so you got to be real patient with it at times. Smallmouth, not so much. They're usually pretty aggressive. My experience with this bait and smallmouth is they get on it pretty quick. But basically, it's all about getting the bait out there, letting it rest a second once it hits the water, get those ripples away from the bait, and alerting the fish in the area to its presence with 2 quick pulls like that. Let the profile and the action of the lure do its job. Don't get in a hurry and I know it looks more attractive to you when it's moving and you got those props turning, but practice some discipline and get that bait to sit between pulls for an adequate amount of time. I think you'll catch more fish. And one more thing. I know you guys are programmed for pop-Rs and walking baits, skitter walks and skitter pops. Those are great lures. There's times when those will be the dominant topwater to throw. But I believe if you give this bait a chance, especially in submerged vegetation, that seems to be where this bait shines the best. When you got holes in milfoil or different types of submerged like cabbage or naiad, eelgrass, and you want to bring those fish out of that grass, this bait will call them better than a popper or a walking bait, in my opinion.